Hare Krishna. Welcome to Sunday program. Thank you all for joining today's program. In 2 weeks' time, we're approaching Gaur Purnima. It's a very big festival for us. Now, every day we're reading Chaitanya Bhagavat after Aarti. Now, let's get into the festival mood. In the today's program, we have so many kirtans, bhajans, and class. First, we'll do Prabhupada Aarti by Ishani Mataji, and in the Bhajan Kirtan session by Leelu Mataji and Mrs. Tarat, and Jai Radha Madhav by Aradhya, and today's class by Haridas Prabhu and Gaura Aarti by Raghupati Prabhu. Namaste by Anil Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Now, first we'll go to temple, and Sachidanand Prabhu is doing the Aarti. Ishani Mataji is singing the Aarti. Hare Krishna, Ishani Mataji. Temple is on mute. Hare Krishna, Ishani Mataji. We can't hear you, Mataji. Still, we can't hear you. Last night we had Kirtan night for the Ukraine people. So many singers contributed. Thank you all for the singers. Everybody sang so nicely. So many people are suffering in Ukraine. We'll pray for them. Please try your volume, Ishanivati. Sound. Still, we can't hear you. Sachidanand Prabhu is ready. He's at the temple waiting.
Haribol?
Yes, Mati, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, sure. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Vandamore लोकीनाथ लोकीना जीवाना महाप्रभु करो दया महाप्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद जया महाप्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद जया महाप्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद जय हे बेटा श्री भुवाना दुई पदा ले लो शराना श्रीला प्रभुपाद तीत पवाना जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर नित्य गौर नित्य गौर नित्य गौर गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि नमो I think it's done. Sorry, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Then
Very
Pranam.
great. Namo Vishpad Brahmacharya Parivarikacharya Darashata Srivat. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Iskcon Founderacharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. BBT Founderacharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Atman Guru Vrinda ki jai. I go Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Ishani Mataji and Prem Prakash Prabhu. We sang really beautifully. Thank you, Sachin, for doing that. Now we will hear from Prabhupada. Sudarshan, if you are ready, please switch the video.
That he's chanting Hare Krishna a little in the shower now. When he takes a shower, he chants a little more.
One press reporter in the Berkeley University in the beginning, he wrote his article and he wrote that after hearing this Hare Krishna for a few minutes, I came home chanting all the road Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So when we conquer over these base qualities, then we become happy. Tada rajastamo bhava kama lobha gayasthaji cheta eti anavidhyam. When the consciousness is not influenced by this base quality, cheta eti sthita shakti prasidati. Being situated on the platform of Satagun, he feels happy. That is the beginning of spiritual life. When so long the mind is disturbed by lusty desires and greediness, there is no question of spiritual life. Therefore, the first business is how to control the mind so that it may not be influenced by the base quality, lusty desires and greediness. We have seen in Paris, old man, 75 years old, is going to the nightclub because the lusty desire is there. He pays $50 for entering the club, and then he pays further for other things. So even he is 75 years old, the lusty desire is there.
By thought of the spiritual sky. 10%.
Yeah.
Does
Or
Krishna
less
know-
than that. In the material, whole material world, all the living entities, they're just like in the prison house. There are some population, but they are not majority. The majority of the population, they are outside the prisoner. Similarly, majority of living beings, part and parcel of God, they are in the spiritual world. Only a few falls down.
Does Krishna know ahead of time that the soul is going to be foolish and fall?
Krishna? Yes, Krishna may know, because he is omniscient.
Are more souls falling all the time?
Huh?
Is it
Not
still-
all the time, but there is the tendency of fall down. Not for all, but because there is independence. Everyone is not liking to misuse the independence. The same example. It's like a government constructing a city and constructs also prison house. Because the government knows that somebody will be criminal. So their shelter must be also constructed. It is very easy to understand. Not that 10% population will be criminal. But government knows that some of them will be. Otherwise, why they construct prison house also? One may say, where is the criminal you are constructing? The government knows, no, there will be criminal. So if the ordinary government can know, why God cannot know? Because there is tendency.
The origin of that tendency is?
Yes.
From where does that tendency come?
Tendency means the independence. So, everyone can know that independence means one can use it properly, one can misuse it. That is independence. Therefore, it is the duty of the human being how to control the mind. Not act like cats and dogs. That is human being. He should be inquisitive. Why this happening? Why this happening? And he should take education. That is human life. That is the difference between human being and dog. Therefore, Vedic is go and inquire. You have got this human form of life. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Now, then go to proper guru and take lessons from him. The same thing as we instruct our children, if you want to be educated in the higher status of life, go to school, go to college, take lessons. That is human society. The dog's father will never ask the dog, child, go to school. No, they are dogs.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Here Prabhupada was saying our first business is to control. We should learn how to control our mind. We shouldn't act like dogs and cats. We should try to inquire why this is happening. Ardhato Brahma Jignasa. When you conquer base qualities, you'll become happy. And the independent means one can use it properly. Jai. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Now, let's get into the Bhajan Kirtan session. In the Bhajan Kirtan session, first we have Leelu Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Please unmute yourself, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I
We
think
can
I
hear you
also.
now. Hi, Mataji, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you.
Please.
Okay, it's Mirabai version that someone I think sing Mirabai. So hopefully, all right. Yeah. ऐसी लागी लगन मेरा हो गई मगन तो गाली हरि गुण गाने लगी महलों में पली लन के जोगन चली मीरा रानी दीवानी कहाने लगी कोई रोके नहीं कोई होके नहीं मेरा गोविंद गोपाल गाने लगी बेटी संतों के संग रंगी मोहन के रंग बेटी संतों के संग रंगी मोहन के रंग मेरा प्रेमी प्रीतम को मनाने लगी ऐसी लागी लगन मेरा हो गई मगन वो तो गली गली हरि गुण गाने लगी राणा ने विष दिया रण ने विष दिया माँ को अमृत दिया मेरा सागर में सरिता समाने लगी दुख लाखों सहे मुख से गोविंद कहे दुख लाखों सहे मुख से गोविंद कहे मेरा गोविंद गोपाल गाने लगी वो तो गली गली हरि गुण गाने लगी ऐसी लागी लगन मेरा हो गई मगन हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Jai Swaram Kiji.
Jai. Thank you very much, Leela Mataji. You sang very nicely.
Thank you. Sorry, I get nervous.
No, it's really nice.
Sound got a bit wrong, but thank you.
No. We don't know the bhajan, so whatever you sing, it's so nice for us. Nice to hear. Thank you. Now we'll go to Coventry. Aki Mataji is ready. Hare Krishna Mataji. Please unmute yourself. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Nice to see you. Somebody is next to you. Is that your?
Yeah, my mom.
Your mom. Okay. Hare Krishna Mataji. Nice to see you.
So we are singing a Gaura bhajan. It's about Gauranga. So it's saying if Gauranga wasn't here, how could we be in the art? How could we know about the glories of Radharani?
Jai.
Jai. So we're going to start now. Haribol. Haribol. যদি গৌর না হইতো তবে কি হইতো কেমনে ধরিতাম দে যদি গৌর না হইতো তবে কি হইতো কেমনে ধরিতাম দে রাধার মহিমা প্রেম রস সীমা রাধার মহিমা প্রেম রস সীমা জগতে জানা তোকে জগতে জানা তোকে যদি গৌর না হইতো তবে কি হইতো কেমনে ধরিতাম দে যদি গৌর না হইতো তবে কি হইতো কেমনে ধরিতাম দে কেমনে ধরিতাম দে মধুর বৃন্দা বিভিন্ন মাধুরী প্রবেশ চাতুরী মধুর বৃন্দা বিভিন্ন মাধুরী প্রবেশ চাতুরী বড় যুবতী ভবের ভগতী বড় যুবতী ভবের ভগতী শপতি হইত কার শপতি হইত কার যদি গৌর না হইত তবে কি হইত কেমনে ধরিতাম দে কেমনে ধরিতাম দে গাও গাও গুণ গৌরাঙ্গের গুণ সরল করিয়া মন গাও গাও গুণ গৌরাঙ্গের গুণ সরল করিয়া মন এ ভব সাগরে এমন দয়ালো এ ভব সাগরে এমন দয়ালো না দেখিয়া একজন না দেখিয়ে একজন যদি গৌর না হইত তবে কি হইত কেমনে ধরিতাম দে কেমনে ধরিতাম দে আমি গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া নাগেনু গলিয়া কেমনে ধরিনু দে আমি গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া নাগেনু গলিয়া কেমনে ধরিনু দে বাসুরহিয়া পাশানো দিয়া বাসুরহিয়া পাশানো দিয়া বিধি কেমনে গড়িয়াছে বিধি কেমনে গড়িয়াছে যদি গৌর না হইত তবে কি হইত কেমনে ধরিতাম দে কেমনে ধরিতাম দে কেমনে ধরিতাম দে হরিবল
Jai. Thank you very much, Mataji, for singing wonderful bhajan. I'll read the translation. This song is by Vasudeva Ghosha. It's a Bengali bhajan. If the God had not appeared as the Yuga avatar in this age of Kali, then what would have become of us? How could we have tolerated living? Who in this universe would have ever learned about the topmost limits of loving mellows that comprise the glory of Sri Radha? Who would have had the power to render ecstatic devotional service that follows in the footsteps of damsels of Raja? Indeed, the clever expertise of the Vraja Gopis is a preparatory for entering the supremely sweet forest of Vrinda Devi. Oh, please sing again and again of the glorious qualities of Lord Gauranga. Just try to keep your heart simple. Not even one person without this ocean of nuisance has ever seen such a magnanimous personality as he. Even though I chant the holy name of Lord Gauranga, somehow I still have not melted in ecstasy. How then have I maintained the burden of this body? How has the Creator fashioned this body with a stone in place of Vasudeva Gosha's heart? Jai Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai Gauranga. Now, thank you very much for singing this beautiful bhajan, Mataji, once again. Now, Mrs. Tarat Mataji is ready. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for joining today's program.
Yes.
Please start your bhajan.
Thank you. I singing today when Kurukshetra Juddha. This time everybody pray to God. And I singing this song.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Jago jago sanko chakro Goda Podudari Jago jago sanko chakro Goda Podudari Jago Shri Krishna Krishna Timiro Yoko Hari Jago Shri Krishna Krishna Timiro Yoko Hari Ago Jago Shankho Chakro Goda Podduda Hari Jago Jago Shankho Chakro Podduda Hari Dake Boshu Devi Doi Dake Gore Gore Na Yantu Mate Dake Boshu Devi Doi Dake Gore Gore Narayana Tumate Dake Dakiche bolo Ram Sri Dam Sudam Dakiche Jomuna Bari Dakiche bolo Ram Sri Dam Sudam Dakiche Jomuna Bari Jago Shankho Chakro Goda Podudari Jago Shankho Chakro Goda Podudari Hari Tumai Kurukshetra Saj Raketa Navakuru Ketre Hari Tumai Shajalanitri Dake Pandava Kuru Ketre দুঃশাসন সবাই দ্রৌপদী ডাকিছে, কোথায় লজ্জা দুঃশাসন সবাই দ্রৌপদী ডাকিছে, কোথায় লজ্জা গোদা পদুদারি মহাভারতের মহাদেবতা, জাগো জাগো আলো আলোক বারতা, মহাভারতের মহাদেবতা, গো জাগো আলোক বারতা, ডাকিছে গীতার শ্লোকানুগতা, ডাকিছে গীতার শ্লোকানুগতা, বিশ্বেরই নর নারী, ডাকিছে গীতার শ্লোকানুগতা, বিশ্বের নর নারী, জাগো জাগো শঙ্কর, গোদা পদুদারি, জাগো জাগো শঙ্খ চক্র, গোদা পদুদারি, হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ, কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে হরে, হরে রাম হরে রাম, রাম রাম হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ, কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে হরে, হরে রাম ও রাম হরে হরে, জাগো জাগো শঙ্খ চক্র, গোদা পদুদারি, জাগো জাগো শঙ্খ চক্র, গোদা পদুদারি, রাধে রাধে গোবিন্দ, গোবিন্দ রাধে 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 গোবিন্দ, গোবিন্দ রাধে, জাগো জাগো শঙ্খ চক্র, গোদা পদুদারি, জাগো জাগো শঙ্খ চক্র, গোদা পদুদারি, হরে কৃষ্ণ।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji, for singing lovely bhajan. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna. Now it's time for class. Today Aradhya is singing Jai Radha Madhav. Hare Krishna, Aradhya. Please unmute yourself. Hare Krishna, Aradhya.
Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam.
How are you today?
Good, Mataji.
Oh, very nice. Please start Jai Radha.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Jai, thank you, Aradhya. Thank you. Before lockdown, you all kept like running around in the temple here and there. Now you all singing like professional singers with the different instruments. Nice to see you all like this. Thank you to Ishani Mataji and Prem Prakash Prabhu for joining with him. Now we'll go to class. It's today's class is by His Grace Haridas Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Lovely to see
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Aradhya did very well.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Helped me out.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
So is Sudarshan there on the production?
Yes, Prabhuji, he's sharing it.
Yeah, so Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 5th chapter, 32nd verse.
Yes, thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So welcome everyone. You know, Gaur Purnima is around the corner and we are all getting excited, and we celebrated Nityananda's appearance day so nicely. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you know, we should do a bit even bigger festival. And I'm sure all the devotees, they're going to sing bhajans and kirtans for Gaur Purnima. But we are trying to inspire everyone to focus on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And today's class, I hope to achieve and answer two questions. Number one question is, how do we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord? Where is the proof? And the other one is, whatever the answer is, then how do we know more about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being the Supreme Lord? So, you know, I'll address it as we go along. And for the devotees, it'll be quite easy. You know, you look at Bhagavatam and 11th canto, this verse will actually say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord. But you could say there's other sampradayas, they also claim that their sampradaya leaders, you know, also fit the description of what's being said here. And that's why I picked this up, because for us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, you know, we're not searching anymore. We've reached home, we just know the goal, and we are trying to achieve the goal. And there might be some who've just entered this sampradaya and perhaps they're not sure, or they might be challenged by someone. And usually, once you establish yourself, then you find the challenges come from others who prepared. And we shouldn't feel offended. It's not an offense. It's a Tattva Brahma Jigyasa. People are inquisitive. And just hold on a second, it says my internet is a little read the purport as well, and then we'll go further on the class. Okay, so can you put the shloka up, please, Sudarshan Prabhu? Okay, the screen is black. You frozen. Honey? Did you freeze? Oh, no, but I've changed to a hotspot. Okay, yeah, we got it. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangasta Pashadam Yogya Sankirtana Praye Yujanti Sumetsaha. So, Krishna Varnam, repeating the syllables Krishna, Tvisha, with the luster, a Krishnam, not black, golden, Sa-anga, along with associates, Up-anga, servitors, astra, weapons, parshadam, confidential companions, yagei, by sacrifice, sankirtana, prayayi, consisting chiefly of congregational chanting, yajanti, they worship, he, certainly, sumedsaha, intelligent persons. Translation by translation by disciples of Srila Prabhupada, but I'm sure Srila Prabhupada would have translated this somewhere as well. In the age of Kali, intelligent person perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Purport. Jai, if you can scroll up, please. So we'll read. This same verse is quoted by Krishnadas Kaviraj in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila chapter 3, verse 52. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has given the following commentary on this verse. So Prabhupada says, this text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this verse in his commentary on the Bhagavatam known as the Kram Sandarbha, wherein he says, the Lord Krishna also appears with a golden complexion. That worshipped by men in that is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam by Garga Muni, who said that although the child Krishna was blackish, he also appears in 3 other colors, red, white, and yellow. He exhibits his white and red complexion in the Satya and Treta ages respectively. He did not exhibit the remaining color yellow, gold, until he appeared as Lord Chaitanya, who is known as Gaura Hari. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that Krishna Varnam means Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Varnam and Krishna Chaitanya are equivalent. The names Krishna appears with both Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya, Krishna. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he always engages in describing Krishna and thus enjoying transcendental bliss by chanting and remembering his name and form. Lord Krishna himself appears as Lord Chaitanya to preach the highest gospel. Varanayati means utters or describes. Lord Chaitanya always chants the holy name of Krishna and describes it also. And because he is Krishna himself, whoever meets him will automatically chant the holy name of Krishna and later describe it to others. He injects one with transcendental Krishna consciousness, which merges the chanter in transcendental bliss. In all respects, therefore, he appears before everyone as Krishna, either by personality or by sound. Simply by seeing Lord Chaitanya, one at once remembers Lord Krishna. One may therefore accept him as Vishnu Tattva. In other words, Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna himself. Sangopangastra Parshadam further indicates the Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna. Okay. His body is always decorated with ornaments of sandalwood and with sandalwood paste. By his super excellent beauty, he subdues all the people of the age. In other descents, the Lord sometimes used weapons to defeat the demoniac. But in this age, the Lord subdues them with his all-attractive figure as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that his beauty is his astra or weapon to subdue the demons. Because he is all attractive, it is to be understood that all the demigods lived with him as his companions. His acts were uncommon, and his associates wonderful. When he propagated the Sankirtan movement, he attracted many great scholars and acharyas, especially in Bengal and Orissa. Lord Chaitanya is always accompanied by his best associates, like Lord Nityanand, Advaita, Gadadhar, Srivas. Srila Jiva Goswami cites a verse from the Vedic literatures that says that there is no necessities of performing sacrificial demonstrations or ceremonial functions. He comments that instead of engaging in such external, pompous exhibitions, all people, regardless of caste, color, or creed, can assemble together and chant Hare Krishna to worship Lord Chaitanya. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam indicates that prominence should be given to the name Krishna. Lord Chaitanya taught Krishna consciousness and chanted the name of Krishna. Therefore, to worship Lord Chaitanya, everyone should together chant the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. To propagate worship in churches, temples, or mosques is not possible because people have lost interest in that. But anywhere and everywhere, people can chant Hare Krishna. Thus, worshipping Lord Chaitanya, they can perform the highest activity and fulfill the highest religious purpose of satisfying the Supreme Lord. Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, a famous disciple of Lord Chaitanya, said, the principle of transcendental devotional service having been lost, Sri Krishna Chaitanya has appeared to deliver again the process of devotion. He is so kind that he's distributing love of Krishna. Everyone should be attracted more and more to his lotus feet, as hummingbees are attracted to a lotus flower. The incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also described in the Sri Vishnu Sahasranam, which appears in chapter 189 of the Dan Dharma Parva of Mahabharata. Srila Jiva Goswami has quoted this reference as follows. Suvarno, so Suvarna Varno, Hemango, Varangas, Chandanan Gadi. In his early pastimes, he appears as a householder with a golden complexion. His limbs are beautiful, and his body is smeared with pulp of sandalwood, seems like molten gold. He has also quoted, Sannyas Krich Chamha Shanto Nishtha Shanti Parayana. In his later pastimes, he accepts the sannyas order and is equipoised and peaceful. He is the highest abode of peace and devotion, for he silences the impersonalist non-devotees. Thank you very much. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Guran Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savdutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchan Gourangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishbhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Varanam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastaparstam Yogya Sankirtanam Prayeja Jantihi Sumitsaha. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons performed congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So when we joined Iskcon, and we hadn't heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we knew little about Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and we knew about Krishna and Lord Ram, and that we are from Bharat and Sanatana Dharma. And it's embarrassing that I was age 22 or something like that. And I thought I was a Hindu, because I remember meeting an Iskcon devotee, and he says, we are informing people about Sanatana Dharma. And I goes, well, I'm a follower of Sanatana Dharma. And then I got my Bhagavad Gita, and when I read it, it was so deep and so revealing, and the truth which the details I did not know. And so I felt embarrassed that I said, I'm a Hindu, I know what Hinduism is. And this goes for most of Bharat as well. But what's happened is time and change now. There's many people now, they know the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavatam. Many who join Iskcon will accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but you have many relatives, friends, and all that. And to them, still, they're not prepared to even hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They will accept Krishna and Lord Ram. And we are, as a group, reading on the Zoom different details. And it's amazing how when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, and also Nityananda Prabhu, people weren't aware who has just taken birth. Advaita Acharya had a premonition who he was. And even though he realized Sachima is carrying, in a garb, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he even later on, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, he actually moved away from Navadvip to Shantipur, because he wanted to establish, does the Lord know me, and have I really invoked the Lordship to come here? People are always looking for proof. And without proof, then it's just your faith. I mean, you can believe in anything and say that is the Supreme Lord. So we all got to have bases. We must have Shraddha. And faith in what? Something you can quote, you can actually speak about and show it to others. And the surprising thing is, even if you really show and statements from the scriptures, there'll be people who will still not accept it. Although, you've shown the proof, and that should be logical, that they would say, okay, I surrender. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Channa Avatar, the hidden. Because in Bhagavatam, he's called Tri-Yugi, that the Lord appears in 3 yugas. So obviously, many erudite scholars of other sampradayas, when they meet anybody from Gaudiya Sampradaya, will say, well, the Lordship is Tri-Yugi. He comes in the Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and the last one was Sri Krishna. So you have that battle. And the other one is, if they accept this verse, which I've just read, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam, there are many, many people who are sannyasis, and they're talking about Krishna, and you could say, well, maybe they're talking about not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's many alvars from the south. There's Ramanujacharya, Nimbaka, others. Maybe they're referring to that. And there's other sampradaya, I know they claim they call their saints as Mahaprabhu as well. So on the way you start to sort of think they could be right. But, again, you have to say, okay, what is the scripture saying? And then who is saying from the scriptures? Like even the scriptures are there, then Srila Prabhupada is endorsing it. And then Srila Prabhupada is quoting Jiva Goswami. And Jiva Goswami, he wrote so many books, so many shlokas, verses in Sanskrit, sandarbhas, explaining the Bhagavatam. And apparently, Jiva Goswami, when he started his sandarbhas, this verse is Krishna Varnantusha Krishnam. He actually opened the sandarbha with that. So he considers this as the most important. So Bhagavatam is saying it, some people will not believe it. Then Jiva Goswami is saying it. They might not even believe his writing. What about the current, saints? So then we have, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaurkishodas Babaji Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada's disciples, and our Guru Maharaj. And so we were told all this over and over again. But then you think, well, if the statement is so clear, then why doesn't the whole world surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Because there you are, you have it, clarity there. And this is where you should feel very fortunate. You should realize where others, even reading it, we never got so many proofs. We just met the devotees and we surrendered and we started to read and accept everything. We start to accept and try to understand it later on. So we are very fortunate. But others are being told the truth and they're refusing to accept it and change their lives. So there's nothing we can do. We can actually pray for them. And what I like in there's a very nice point here. It talks about to propagate worship in churches, temples, or mosques is not possible because people have lost interest in that. But anywhere and everywhere, people can chant the Hare Krishna, thus worshipping Lord Chaitanya. They can perform the highest activity. Now, when it was Nityananda's appearance day, I asked a question, how do we please Nityananda Prabhu? And our Raghupati Prabhuji, who said, you please your Guru, because your Guru is representing Nityananda Prabhu. I really like that answer. So we should please him. So how do you please Lord Chaitanya? And he says it in the purport. You should worship Lord Chaitanya. How? Chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now, last night, we prayed for the Ukrainian situation. And everybody chanted. It was a couple of hours prayer. And I was so happy that whatever bhajan was there in the beginning, we just rounded it off with prayer. So what you're doing is you're invoking the mercy of the Lord, and then you're worshiping him with the Mahamantra. So can you imagine at the moment now in Ukrainian, people are scared, they're inside their houses or shelters, wherever. And they'll be worried that if I go to church, he'll get bombed or they're underground. What would be the easiest way to worship the Lord? Chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So you can see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew that in Kali Yuga, people will be disturbed. Updrutaha, it says there, all the time. So then if you make it very ornate to worship the Lord, very sophisticated, very complicated, and people don't have memories now, very good memories, and they have got very little time. They're busy with their WhatsApp and sending messages and being friends on FB. So they won't have time. So Krishna knows, he Trikal Darshi, he knows the past, present, and future. So can we accept it that he knows our difficulty, and then he's given us the simplest method of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I was listening to a lecture earlier on, and they were saying that when you have a magnet and an iron, and the magnet and iron, every time you bring it together, there is attraction. You know, it's not that the magnet and the iron at certain time will attract, the magnet will attract the iron 24/7. So there's no condition, it's all the time. So similarly, when you're chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, it's the magnet. It's going to attract the mercy of the Lord 24/7, anytime. There isn't a particular period where you go in and that's when the Muhurat is right. And when you chant the Mahamantra, it's going to attract the mercy of the Lord. No, anytime you chant, the result is there. You're worshiping, the Supreme Lord. And hold on a second. So how simple is that? Ram se bada Ram ka naam. So the Lord's name is bigger than the Lord because you can take it easily. But the Lord has invested powers in the name. We forget that. It wasn't just made by anybody. Gole kera premadan, Hari Naam Sankirtan. And in Chaitanya Bhagavat, actually in Chaitanya Mangal, Lochanath Das, in there it says Narad Muniji actually went and met Krishna. And he says, no one is chanting your name. And then Krishna showed his golden form. And Narad Muni was in ecstasy seeing the form. He said, this form is beautiful. And he says, this is the form I'm going to show. And whoever will see that will chant the Lord's name. So Narad Muni was concerned, and this lecture was hearing, they were saying that Narad Muni is the first Sankirtan fellow. He went everywhere and chants, Narayana, Narayana. Prahlad Maharaj also chanted all the time. And so Kirtans were being held before. Why is it different? And also, is it Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, or Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare? Or Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So some people argue that this is in Kali Santaran Upanishad. So, and it says a Ved mantra. So ordinary people can't say it. There is a vidhi to it. If you say Hare Ram, Ram. So it's a mantra. So mantra ucharan. So there's a lot of vidhi. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just flipped it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. So it becomes a naam. You're chanting the naam now, not mantra. So it's easy. There's no rules to it. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did it. He empowered it. He made it easy for us. They say in Punjabi that if you can't take ghee out with straight finger, you just curl it a bit and you'll pick some ghee out. So in Kali Yuga, if that is not allowed, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu turned it that you say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Iti Shodsha Nam Nam Kali Kalmsa Nash Nam. So what happens is other sampradayas say that, the Vaishnava sampradaya, the Narayan, Lakshmi Narayan is our foremost. So they pay importance to that. So sometimes these days on Twitter and other, social media, you get if you make a statement, loads of people jump on you. They almost discourage you. This is happening to everybody, not just devotees. And so everybody stakes the claim that this verse is for their sampradaya, because their acharya was sannyasi as well, and he glorified Narayan. And Narayan, there's no difference between Narayan and Krishna. So there's a leela where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he actually went to the south, and then Gopal Bhatt's father, he convinced him that Krishna is the boss. And he told me even Lakshmi is trying to find, to be with Krishna. He proved it. And then you can imagine, everybody must have been surprised. The Gopal Bhatt just gave up everything there and came to Vrindavan. And Radharaman deity, Swayambhu deity came to Gopal Bhatt. So there are many, many proofs. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did something. He went all the way to Pandharpur. That's where his older brother Vishwarup had gone and disappeared. And over there with Madhva Sampradaya, he had discussion with them because they are Tattvavadis, just factual. And then he was able to defeat them as well. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did the work of ironing out that he is the Supreme Lord. And his mood is the one everybody should take as prasad. Otherwise, you won't get the highest rasa of bhakti. Others are also rasas, but they're not the highest one. So because others are making these statements, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu initially, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went into Jagannath Mandir first time, he couldn't even say Jagannath. He just fainted, went ja, and he fainted. And the servants there came with their lathis to beat him, saying, who's this pretender, pretending to faint? And Sarvabhauma said, no, look at him. He looks very transcendental. So he took him to his house, which is nearby. And last time I was with Premanji there, we went to the house. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, became conscious, and after a few days, they had a charcha. Atmaram verse, they discussed on that. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was very learned and everybody respected him, but his conclusion wasn't Krishna. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defeated him and then showed him his form. First 4-arm form, then 6-arm form, then 2-arm form of Krishna, then 6-arm form to him. And there's a spot, when you go to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, there's a spot there where it happened. So you can see, even though he was very learned, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, but he hadn't concluded that Krishna is it. And at the bottom it goes, Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in the purport, a famous disciple of Lord Chaitanya. He became disciple of Lord Chaitanya. The principle of transcendental devotional service having been lost. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is accepting that it was lost. Sri Krishna Chaitanya has appeared to deliver again the process of devotion. He is so kind that he is distributing love of Krishna. Everyone should be attracted more and more to his lotus feet as humming bees are attracted to a lotus flower. That's Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. That place is there. When you go to Jagannath Puri temple, you can then nearby go there. And then Gambhira Mandir is a little further. So you can see somebody who's very learned and accepted as an authority at the Jagannath temple. Even he was bereft of the ultimate conclusion. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So what I'm going to do now is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu faced that. So I'm going to read some of the, I don't know if, hold on. I'll send you a little link, Sudarshan Prabhu, and see if you can put that up. Hope you get it. Okay, I've just sent to Pranava Prabhu the link. See if you can bring it up. But I've got it here on my pad. I will just read them. 10 different places, 10 scriptures that reveal Lord Chaitanya's identity as Lord Krishna. So if you can put it up on the screen, it'd be great, but so everybody else can see it. So I wanted to show it to you saying, okay, if you argue about this one verse, let's look at the other one. So the verse we've discussed is number 1 here, Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. So we discussed that. The second reference is Vishnu Sahasranam Stotra from Mahabharata, which we read in the purport as well. And it goes here, Suvarna Varno Hemango Varnangas Chandanangadi. So it says here, Suvarna Varna, he has a golden complexion. Hemanga, he has the appearance of molten gold. Varanga, he is exquisitely beautiful. Chandanam Gadi. The Lord's body is smeared with sandalwood pulp. Lord Chaitanya's qualities and activities are described in the following names. Sannyas Krich Chamha Shanto Nishta Shanti Prayana. So Sannyas Krit, he accepts the renounce. Oh yeah, he accepts the renounced order of life. Lord Chaitanya accepts sannyas at the age of 24. Okay, you got that? So it'll be the second one, which says, yeah, go up a bit. Right, up a bit, up, scroll up. Yeah, more. Okay, so here we go. Sannyas Krich Chamha Shanto Nishta Shanti Prayana. So Sannyas Krit, he accepts the renounced order of life. Lord Chaitanya accepted sannyas at the age of 24. Sama, he's fully sense-controlled or equipoised. Shanta, he's completely peaceful. Nishtha, he is rigidly fixed in the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna. Shanti Prayana, he is the highest abode of devotion and peace. He silences the impersonalist philosophers. Lord Chaitanya defeated many eminent Mayavadis in philosophical debates and converted them to Vaishnavism. So he had the ability, like the magnet, he attracted them all. So if you go up, scroll up more. So Garuda Puran, what does he say? Aham Purno Bhavishyami Yuga Sandhyo Visheshataha Mayapure Navdvipe Bhavishyami Sachi Sutta. So this is Garud Puran. He's being more specific. It's not just any old sannyasi or anybody any day. This is location as well. And who his mother is. So there's no guessing, oh, is this right or not? Here we go. In the first part of Kali Yuga, I will appear in my complete spiritual form in Mayapur. So there you go, Mayapur here, Navadvipa, and become the son of Sachi. So we have Sachi Nandan on our altar. So this is in Garud Puran. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born in Mayapur as the son of Srimati Sachi Devi in year 1486, about 4,500 years after the beginning of Kali Yuga. So if you can scroll up, please. It goes there. It is also stated in this Purana, Kale Prathama Sandhyayam Lakshmi Kanto Bhavishyati Dharu Brahma Samipa Stha Sannyasi Gaura Vigraha. In the first part of Kali Yuga, the Supreme Lord in the golden complexion will become the husband of Lakshmi. Then he will become a sannyasi and reside near Lord Jagannath. So this is, how precise is that? So scroll up a bit. Sri Chaitanya married his eternal consort Srimati Lakshmi Priya and later took sannyas at the age of 24. After the acceptance of sannyas, he left Navadvip and resided in Puri, the holy city of Lord Jagannath in Orissa. Lord Jagannath in Puri is also referred to as Dharu Brahma. I remember Govind Maharaj, first time I heard the expression from him, Dharu Brahma. In the Puranas, the deities here are made from neem wood. The word Dharu means wood in Sanskrit. So if you go up a bit, scroll up, please. Right. Yo rime saha balavi ramyate vrindavane hari nisham yaha kamsam ni jagana kaurava rane ya Pandavanam Sakha. So yam Vainava Danda Mandita Bhujaha Sannyasa Vesha Svayam Nihasan Deham Upagataha Kshiti Tale Chaitanya Rupa Prabhu. The Supreme Lord who took delight in his pastimes with the gopis. He filled the residence of Vrindavan with joy day and night, who slew Kans and who made friends with Pandavas in the battle between the Kauravas, will without any doubt come again to the earth. He will be a sannyasi with the name Chaitanya. He is mentioned there in the Sanskrit and here, whose arm will be decorated with bamboo stick. Means he'll be sannyasi. It is clear from this verse that Lord Krishna himself appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. According to the custom, a sannyasi is supposed to carry a bamboo stick, danda. Lord Chaitanya carried a single bamboo stick as he was Ekadanda sannyasi. So can you scroll up, please? Nrsimha Puran. Wow. Let's see what Nrsimha Puran says. Satya Deta Kuladi Nash Samye Simhodava Martya Kirtis Tretayam Dasa Kandarma Paribhavam Rameti Nam Kritihi Gopalan Paripalyan Brajpure Bharam Haran Vapare Gauranga Priya Kirtanaha Kali Yuga Chaitanya Nam Prabhu. The Supreme Lord who assumed the form of half man, half lion in the Satya Yuga to cure a dreadful disease that had devastated the Daityas, and who, appearing as Ram, conquered the 10-headed Ravan in the Treta Yuga, and who removed the burden of the earth. Can you scroll up, please? Earth in the Dwapar Yuga and protected the cowherd men of Brajpura will be the Lord by the name Chaitanya in Kali Yuga. He will have a golden form and he will take pleasure in chanting the Lord's holy names. So Padma Purana, that's the fifth Shastra. It goes, Kale Pratham Sandhyayam Gora Gotam Mahitale Bhagirathi Tate Rami Bhavishyami Sachisutaha. I shall take birth as a son of Shachi, assuming a golden form in a beautiful place on the bank of the Bhagirathi, which is Gangaji, on the earth in the first part of Kali Yuga. So Mayapur, the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya, is on the banks of the Gangaji. There is similar verse in the Brahma Purana predicting the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. So next is Narad Puran. In there he goes. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead says, Aham eva kalau vipra nityam prachanna vigraha bhagavat bhakta rupena lokana rakshami sarvada. O Brahmana, I will deliver all the worlds, concealing myself in the form of a devotee of the Lord in Kali Yuga. Dvija bhuvi jayadvam bhakta rupina kalau sankirtana rambe bhavishyami sachisutta. Again, Sachisutta is being mentioned. O demigods, please advent on the earth as devotees in Kali Yuga to inaugurate Sankirtan. I will incarnate as the son of Sachi. What does Bhavishya Puran say? Jai Jagannath. Here we go. Ananda Srukala Roma Harsha Purnam Tapodhana Sarve Mama Eva Drakshanti Kalao Sanyas Rupinam. O austere sage, everyone will see my transcendental form as a sannyasi in the age of Kali. I will be displaying symptoms like shedding tears of bliss and hair standing on and out of ecstasy. Lord Chaitanya was always merged in the ocean of transcendental ecstasy. While chanting the names of Krishna and dancing during Sankirtan, he felt intense separation from the Lord, and due to those devotional feelings displayed various ecstatic symptoms of pure love for Krishna, such as incessant tears, voice choking up, hairs on the body standing on end. Vayu Puran. Purnamasyam falgunasya falguni raksha yogatha bhavishyae gora rupena sachigarbe purandarat. On the full moon day of the month of Falgun, conjoined with the star Falguni, I shall appear in golden form, begotten by Purandara in the womb of Shachi. Again, Shachi Mata's name is there. Lord Chaitanya was born on the full moon day in the month of Falgun. His father was known by the name Jagannath Mishra, Purandara Mishra. Svarnadi Tiram Ashtaya Navadvipe Janasray Tatradvije Kulam Prapto Bivishyami Janalaye. I will appear in a Brahmin family in Navadvip by the shore of Gangaji. If you go up, scroll up. Bhakti Yoga Pradhanaya Lokshayanu Cha Sanyasarupam Asthaya Krishna Chaitanya Namadrik. In order to engage the people in devotional service and bestow mercy upon them, I will take sannyas, accepting the name Krishna Chaitanya, Gauranga. Matsya Puran, what does it say? The following statement is made by the Lord. Mundo Gaura Su Dirgangas Tri Srotas Tira Sambhavaha Dyalu Kirtana Grahi Bhavishyami Kalo Yuge. In the age of Kali, I will be golden in color. I will be tall and will have a shaven head. The place where I take birth will be a meeting point of 3 rivers. I will be very merciful and I will keenly engage in chanting the holy names. Lord Chaitanya, being an Ekadanda sannyasi, had completely shaven head, as was the custom for such sannyasis. 3 rivers, the Gangaji, the Yamuna, and Saraswati, which is currently in a hidden form, flow at Navadvip. And finally, Sakand Puran. What does Sakanda Puran say? The Lord states, Anta Krishna Bahir Gaura Sangopangastra Parshada Sachigarbe Samapunyam Maya Manusha Karam Krit. Inwardly Krishna, but outwardly of golden form, I will be accompanied by my associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Taking my birth in the womb of Shachi, I will accept the role of a human being. So, Sudarshan, thank you very much for that, putting it on their screen. Now, if any Vaishnav here has a doubt about the proof of who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, you know, honestly, you're dumb. You're a offender. If you're a devotee of the Lord, and after giving all this proof from various scriptures, you're not accepting something wrong with you. I must say, just talking about this has filled me up with a lot of confidence. And even if I died in my dreams, something which I don't, you know, there is the proof. We should from today chant the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, with confidence, saying we are worshipping Lord Chaitanya at every moment, in every room, in every street, in every association. We are chanting the holy name. You know, we got tilaks on, and then Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada, he achieved Prithvite Ache Nagradi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Hoiba Maranam. Who did that? Srila Prabhupada, you know, went and did it, and he succeeded. And people know Hare Krishna devotees as the ones who chant in the streets, you know, and do the japa. And we are known for our Bhagavatam and our books and everything, but we relate to the chanting. So this verse which we read has been fulfilled by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. And we are so happy that we're in this movement. And it's not that we should rub it in other people's faces saying, oh, we have proof, so you're false. No, they're not false. We have the opportunity to taste the highest rasa. And one Maharaj was saying that Krishna watched that people are enjoying saying my name, and they're enjoying seeing my form. This is my form. This is my name. How come they're enjoying? I also want to enjoy it. So as Krishna, then he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We don't know how to enjoy the name and the form of Krishna, but he knew it. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to show ecstatic symptoms. And he gave that rasa. He brought this treasure, you know, box, you know, house, treasure house. And Nityananda Prabhu is distributing freely to everyone. And when the day comes, or from now on, please be confident that we are going to celebrate the appearance day of the Supreme Lord in the form of a devotee, and he is delivering the whole world. So we could go on forever and ever, but thank you. I'm a little over time. So Raghupati ji is waiting in the wings with the Mardanga. I can see he's all ready to do the Maha Mantra of Singura Aarti. So Satya Devi, thank you very much. So we can share this.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Gauranga. Very nice to hear from you, Prabhuji. Thank you for giving us. Sorry.
Your screen is black. Oh, there you are. Now I know who's
Thank
speaking.
you very much, Prabhuji. Very fortunate to hear from you, and thank you very much for giving so many references from the scriptures. I really like the Garuda Purana, where it mentioned Lord Chaitanya will appear in Mayapur from Navadvip to Sachimata. Yes. And even Vai Purana it mentioned. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
And also I just wanted to add, all the Channa avatar, his hidden avatar, but as this avatar, he showed more forms of the Lordship than ever before. To Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, after defeating, like I said, the 4-arm form first, then the 2-arm form, then the Shadbhuj. And to Ramanand Roy, Radha Krishna. And to Advaita Acharya Nityananda Prabhu, universal form. I mean, you know, when you read Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, he's showing forms after forms and left, right, and center, and yet he's hidden. And yet he would deny he's the Supreme Lord. So you can see it's pretty complex like that. So there you are. Raghupati ji, Danvat Pranam. Thank you for honoring us today for the Aarti, and we'll let you take the stage. Jai Ho. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raghupati Prabhu, for joining today's program. Please start Aarti.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. This is Sachinandanitai Chanting Ki Jai. It will be nice if you can just put the Sandhya Aarti alongside the script, so people can sing, although this Fuller Aarti, more or less everyone knows that. Jai Goranita, 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 Jaya Goranita, 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 Jaya Goranita. Shiva Jaya, Jaya Gora Chandi, Arati Kusho. Shiva Jaya, Jaya Gora Chandi, Arati Kusho. Janavi Tatvani Jagmano Lobha Janavi Tatvani Jagmano Lobha Kiva Dakshine Tai Mami Gadadha Dakshine Nitai Chan Mami Gadadha Nikate Advaita Shri Nivasu Chatrodhara Nikate Advaita Shri Vasu Chatrodhara Ivavasi Achi Gurachan Rati Singhasani Vasi Achi Gurachan Rati Singhasani Arati Kori Adi Devo Gani Arati Kori Adi Devo Gani Kivanurari Adi Kori Chamari Dula Nara Hari Adikari Chamari Dula Sanjaya Mukundu Vasu Goshu Adigaya Sanjaya Mukundu Vasu Goshu Adigaya Diva Shankar Badi Ganta Badi Madhikaruta Shankar Badi Ganta Badi Madhikaruta Madhura Mridanga Badi Param Rasana Madhura Mridanga Badi परम रसारा शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे 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 निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल किव बहु कोटि चंद्रजिनी भजनु बहु कोटि चंद्रजिनी भजनु गल देशे गोरे झलमाला गल देशे गोरे झलमाला किव शिव शुक नारद प्रेमी गद गद शिव शुक नारद प्रेमी गद गद भक्ति विनोद देखे उरार संपाद भक्ति विनोद देखे उरार संपाद किव जय जय गौरा चांदे आरती को शोभा जानवी तत्वनी जगी मनोलोभा जानवी तत्वनी जगी मनोलोभा गौरांगीरा प्रतीक्षोभा जगी जन मनोलोभा गौरांगीरा प्रतीक्षोभा जग जने मनोलोभा गौरांगीरा प्रतीक्षोभा जगी जन मनोलोभा गौरांगीरा प्रतीक्षोभा जगे जन मनोलोभा ताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामने नमस्ते सरस्वती देव गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष चुनावानी शक्ति देशतारी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Sachinandan, Jaya Nitai Cha, Sachinandan, Jaya Nitai Cha, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Radha, Shyam Sundar Radha, Shyam Sundar Radhe, Jaya Radha, Shyam Sundar Radha, Shyam Sundar Radhe, Jaya Radha, Madhava Radha, Madhava Radhe, Jai Radha, Madhava Radha, Madhava Radhe, Nitai Gauri Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gauri Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Shri Sandhyarthi ki jai, Shri Sachinandanita Chand ki jai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki jai, Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Samet Bhakti Mundi ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Pramanande, Hare.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for singing very nice aarti. Thank you very much. Now for Narsingadev prayers, we will remember the departed souls, Ramesh Chandalal, and we'll also do special prayers for the leaders, His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj, and many other Iskcon gurus and leaders suffering around the world, and all their care team. And we will also pray for Vinod Manjari Mataji, Bhaktin Rita Lester, Rita Vargama Mataji's mother, Pradeep Ankania, Data Reena, Lucky Roy, Lakshmana Rudra, Premanjari Mataji, Shraddha Devi Mataji, Srimati Mataji, Prem Malan, Shantiben Cholanki, Chiguru Srinivas, Gaurhar Prabhu and his mother, John Devender, Kishorbai Thakur, Daniel House, and many other devotees suffering around the world, including Janivas Prabhu, and the general well-being of whole world. Jai Nrsimhadev Bhagwan Ki Jai. And today's Nrsimhadev prayers by Anil Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Anil Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Lord. Please start singing.
Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki jai. Ki jai. Namaste Nrsimhaya. Namaste Nrsimhaya. Pralatadaine. Hiranyakashipur Bhakshaya. Shila Sanka Narkalaye. Eto Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Eto Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Yato Yato Yami Yato Narsimha. Pahe Narsimha Hirdaye Narsimha. Narasingamadim Sharanam Prapale. Tava kara kavalamare nakam Adputa shringa Taleta hiranyakashipur Tanuvingam Keshavadeva Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadeva Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Satchinandana Jaya Nitai Chan Satchinandana Jaya Nitai Chan Jaya Rata Mata Barata Mata Barate Jaya Rata Gokula Nanda Rata Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur. Shri Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Shri Sachinandan Nitai Chand ki jai, Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.
Jai Nrsimhadev Bhagwan Ki Jai. Thank you, Anil Prabhu, for singing Nrsimhadev Aarti. Now we reach the end of the program. So please join daily Aarti every day at 7:30, and after the Aarti we are reading Chaitanya Bhagavat every day leading to Gaur Purnima. And please join next week Sunday program, same time. Thank you all for joining today's program. Hare Krishna. Gauranga.
Gauranga. Hare